Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Four Quarters podcast powered by Four Quarters Media. I'm your host, Tyler Bennett, here with you once again. Part 2 of episode 12 is on tap right now. In part 1, you would have heard from Memorial Seahawks guard Haley Nickerson, I guess former Seahawks guard Haley Nickerson, if you will, having just finished her 5th and final season. Then in part 2, the reason why you're here right now, it's the return to the podcast for Trinity Western Spartans guard Ja'Qualyn Gilbreath, also known as Q. Another great chat with Q. And he was featured on the Drive and Kick podcast a couple weeks ago. So tried not to double up the conversation, if you will. We kind of picked up where we left off back towards the end of January when he was the 4th guest, I believe it was, on the podcast when he first got it up and running. And obviously the year didn't end the way he expected, was declared ineligible, and therefore the Spartans forfeit the 2 wins they had to their resume at that time. But listening to Q talk, regardless of how it played out, he says the year was great and he's where he's supposed to be, and that's all that matters. And he's putting in the work now to get even better, to improve on last year. I mean, he averaged 27 points and 7.8 rebounds per game. That's a fantastic stat line. I don't care who you are. Stellar. Would have led U Sports in scoring if he had finished the year. But just a fantastic chat. I will warn, there were some technical difficulties, so it does cut out about 5 minutes into the chat, but then we pick it back up and we're off and rolling. So with that said, let's jump right in to part 2 of episode 12 of the Four Quarters podcast powered by Four Quarters Media between myself and Trinity Western Spartans guard Ja'Qualyn Gilbreath. Enjoy. All right, so I'm now thrilled to be joined by Trinity Western Spartans guard Ja'Qualyn Gilbreath, also known as Q, and this is take 2 of the podcast. Some technical difficulties the first time around, but we have back up. We're running. Q, how are things with you back home in Texas?
Things are well. Things are well.
It's the second time you've been on the show. That came on back in January. We're the 4th guest that we had when we started this. A lot has changed since January in the world. Mm-hmm. How are things back in Texas? Things starting to open up a little bit, starting to get back to normal as much as we can?
Things are pretty good on my end. Just trying to avoid being around, lots of people, avoid going certain places. So really for me, I'm just going to the gym, working out and coming home. And, that's kind of my routine for every day.
You are probably, like a lot of people in Canada are probably envious of you that you get to go to a gym on a day-to-day basis. And we're not open yet. Not even close to gyms.
Yeah. But some gyms aren't open here as well. Okay. I just kind of know a guy that, and he just opens a gym for me. So I'm able to get some work in.
It's now it seems to be, it's always who you know. Now it's not really what you know. And as long as you have those hookups, I mean, you're ahead of the game for sure.
Definitely.
So you were on the Drive and Kick podcast with Mike Clemens and Dan Libert, one of your teammates at Trinity Western. So I don't want to double up too much of the conversation, but we'll plug that episode down below so people can check that out as well too and hear more about your journey and kind of what led you to Trinity Western. What are the questions that came in from Instagram for us? And we talked about it the first time back in January, the differences between US and Canadian ball. The question was more around, how did you orchestrate your transition? Like, how did you adapt yourself to the differences between the two?
For me, I don't feel like it was really hard to adapt, playing basketball my whole life and coming from the States. I guess they say it's a little different. So coming up there to play, I really didn't have to adjust much. The only difference for me was coming from NCAA to U Sports is the 3-point line is farther, which that wasn't really a problem. And then just the certain rules that they have for I'm guessing it's FIBA rules, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's really the only thing. And then the it's a longer shot clock, NCAA, shorter shot clock in U Sports. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I adapted pretty well.
Well, I mean, 27 points a game, shot almost 46% from the floor, 34% from three, 8 rebounds. Yeah, that's pretty well, I'd say.
I
I
tried my best.
think you found your rhythm pretty quick. I think that's the best way to put it. Oh, don't freeze again. We're back. Kind of. More technical difficulties. This is the third attempt, but we're going to hope that we figured it out. We're smart people. We should be able to figure this out pretty quick. But just kind of get your overall thoughts on how the year went as a whole. Obviously, you said you didn't play towards the end, but just kind of your overall thoughts on your first year north of the border playing basketball under your belt.
I feel like it was great, and I feel like it was a success.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I, made some lifelong friends. I got a great coach. Met some people that I feel like will be in my life forever. And I outside of basketball. So, but I feel like it was really good and successful in my opinion. Like no matter what happened towards the end, I feel like our program is definitely turning around for sure. Without the extra stuff happening at the end,
mm-hmm.
I feel like some things would have really went well for us, and we would have been in a different position. But we still got this coming year and the year after that, if not this year. So just looking forward to that.
Just take it all in stride, and you said on the court, off the court, still a success, and the people you've met, the connections you've made, and experiencing something new. And what's been your favorite part about BC away from basketball?
Just how beautiful it is. It's like it's always a nice sight. I feel like everywhere I am compared to being in Texas, it's not really like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like just the views of BC is really nice.
It's different, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and
very
colder
for me at least. Yeah,
yes.
Which I'm not really a fan of the heat.
Okay.
So I that weather, BC weather is definitely for me.
This is right up your alley. Then this is where you're meant to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Where it's cooler all the time. I mean, and like you said, the views are always fantastic. Can't beat it.
You can't.
Looking ahead to next year, and obviously we all know it's a shortened season, if at all, at this point. So I'm just going to say it's going to be a shortened season because I don't want the negative energy to be like, okay, well, it's not going to happen. What are your What are your goals, either for yourself or for the team? What are you aiming for in 2020, 21?
Just for us to just to get right after it. Even if it's a shortened season, I don't feel like we got time to kind of dwell on it being a shortened season or
right.
Like everything not going our way. I just feel like we gotta, get right after it. I feel like with Coach Trevor, I feel like as soon as we all get down, we get the whole team together, like we're gonna immediately, start getting better when we can.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like no matter what, even with the short season, goals for us is just to get better, to prepare for, if not next year, whenever we're gonna have a full season or
Mm-hmm.
whenever things get back to normal. So that's what we're preparing for, just getting better day in and day out. So I think that's that's really the goal for us, really, and just to keep bonding to be a better team on and off the court.
The shortened season is it's gonna be interesting because every game has that much more significance. It's that much more important with half the games. And how weird is it going to be to play with no fans potentially?
I don't feel like it. I feel like it would be weird for some people.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be a difference. Because it kind of helps. Depending on if you're playing at home or playing away.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fans always help, but for me, I feel like it won't make a difference. I just love to play ball. So whether there's fans or not, I'm gonna go out there and play.
I feel like it's going to take away a lot of that home court advantage because there's no fans and they're not in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to feel like it's a neutral site game every time because no one's there to get on you.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's going to be a weird almost sensation of watching games and it's just the game and that's it. And there's nothing else to watch. I think it's gonna be an adjustment.
Big difference. Yeah, for sure.
Once you get that first one out of the way, okay, though this is different, but it's still just basketball, and
that's all it is.
And if you can play, you can play, and it levels out the fans a bit. But I mean, it's basketball. At the end of the day, like you said, if you can play, just play basketball.
Yep, still a blessing to even be able to play. So whether it's fans or not, you got to do it.
Before we get into the rest that came out on Instagram, have you been watching the basketball tournament at all? I saw you put on Twitter, you responded to Jaden Coey's tweet saying ESPN needs to be in Canada.
Yeah,
have you been watching any of the basketball tournament?
Yeah, I actually was watching it not long ago. I was watching the Bayham team go against some other team. I can't even remember the name, but it was definitely like the Syracuse built team versus someone else.
What are your thoughts on that? Is it good just to have live basketball back that you don't know the result to?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a lot of recorded games, that I would just go back and watch, but you already know the result, like you said. So it is good to watch a game where you don't know the end result. So,
are you excited for the NBA to come back?
I actually am. I am, but I'm not even just a huge NBA fan. No. I really liked watching college basketball more.
Okay. Being from Texas, then, who is your college team?
I like Kentucky, but I'm always root for Texas Tech as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind the Texas Tech pick.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky, not sold on. I'm not sold on.
I always be a Kentucky fan. Coach Cal is great.
I'm a big Michigan State guy, and it feels like every 3 years the Champions Classic never goes our way.
Well, Michigan State is good. They just got the number one recruit, so
But that's not for another 2 years.
Yeah, and he may not even go to college. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Michigan State is still a great place, though.
The one time we get the top player, he might not even come. It's just
bad luck.
It's just the way it goes. Do you think there'll be a college season in the States this year?
I have no idea. I've been talking to a few of my friends that are playing in NCAA, and they don't even know what's going on. So it's kind of hard to tell, I guess.
I think it all depends on football.
Yeah, pretty much.
They can find a way to get college football going. There's no way they can't do basketball then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's going to be weird to not have NCAA football or basketball if that happens. That'll be weird.
Yeah, basketball had hurt not being able to watch the tournament.
Right?
Sure.
Like everything shut down like the week before Selection Sunday, and half teams have already clinched their spots. They've already won their conference tournament, and then just no tournament like that.
Yep. I had
That
a
stung the
friend who
most.
they're probably going to win their conference tournament and punch the ticket into the NCAA tournament, but everything ended up getting canceled. And he was a senior, so
Oh
that just sucks bad. And they didn't grant them their eligibility back, so
no,
that's like that was pretty bad.
those are the ones I feel the worst for. Like the seniors who still have a shot to make a tournament, and some of them it's their first tournament, and nothing, and no eligibility, no nothing. It's just
It's so rough.
it ends. Your career ends out of your control. Is the worst thing that you could have happen.
Yeah.
That's tough. One of the questions that came in off Instagram is from a teammate.
Oh my God.
How excited are you to play with a quote unquote great shooter like Dan Libbert?
Just what I have to say about that is it'll just be a lot of easy assists, but that's all I gotta say. I can't give Dan too much attention, man.
I will not confirm or deny if it was Dan himself who asked the question, but I'm sure you can put two and two together real quick.
It was definitely Dan. That's him. That's Dan written all over it.
Yeah. That as soon as I saw it come in, I just laughed to myself. I was like, of course. Another one that came in, I think it's an interesting one. In your eyes, what does it take to win?
That's a good question. What does it take? I feel like it takes a little bit of everything. You got to be gritty. You got to dive on the floor for balls. You got to be unselfish. You got to be coachable. I feel like what it takes to win is just doing all the little things, because the little things matter in the game of basketball, for sure, a lot more than some people think. So, and so that's what I think. Just doing all the little things. That's what it takes to win, pretty much, in my opinion.
A lot of it, like you said, the little things. A lot of it's the doing the stuff that doesn't show up
No,
in the box
yep,
score.
exactly,
It's
and doing stuff that no one else wants to do.
mm-hmm. It's the diving for loose balls. It's even just like if you're on the bench, just celebrating your team or just listening in timeouts. Just a lot of things that don't show up on the box score.
Exactly, being a great teammate is up there, with just about anything too. So, being encouraged by your teammates, when something goes wrong, like that can be a difference in the game as well.
Mm-hmm. Because that energy kind of radiates down the bench. Like if they see a guy like yourself with the stat line you had, if they see you celebrating your teammates, that's going to radiate down the bench. If they
Exactly.
see you not, it's going to have the exact same effect. It's going to radiate down the bench, and they're like, oh, well, if he's not doing it, why do I have to? And that can be from you or the 12th man on the bench, anybody. As soon as they see somebody not buying in or celebrating someone else's success, it's done.
Yep.
That's a big anchor that it's tough to lift and try to pull that around for a 20-game season. You're not going to win, probably.
Yeah, that's why I've been working on trying to be a better leader, even vocally as well. So, because growing up, I wasn't real vocal and things like that, but I'm getting better at it. So that's what I've been trying to work on as well, amongst other things. So
I think I'm going to go off that a bit. I think there's a lot of people probably in your similar situation who aren't the most vocal or weren't the most vocal. What are some things that you've been working on to try and improve that, I guess, for lack of a better term, to try and kind of step out of your comfort zone and try to become that better leader that you're striving to be? What are some things you do to work on to improve that?
just kind of interacting with my teammates more.
Mm-hmm.
Sending them things that I'm doing here in the summer. Just motivating them to do more. and trying to get everybody to just be on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
and just really just keeping in contact with them every day or every other day that I can, being thousands of miles away, not being able
Right.
to be in person and, be that vocal leader. But I can still kind of do it from a distance,
Just
by just interacting with them and,
mm-hmm.
showing them things that I'm doing, trying to motivate them and get them to work every day.
I think with this whole COVID pandemic, it's really forced people to adapt and adjust. And like you said, you're thousands of miles away, but you still find a way. And it's still just that constant or consistent, not even constant, just consistent check-ins where they're just small conversations, like just how they're doing as a person or basketball wise, just building that rapport and reputation and relationship. And then again, like you said, leading by example, doing the same things that they're doing and just kind of almost holding each other accountable because you can't be there face to face.
Yes, exactly. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do, just hold each other accountable.
I think it's all you can really do. And it is a lot harder now with, like you said, not being there in person. Like it's tough to hold someone in BC accountable from Texas, but you find a way. And that
Yep.
it's a sign that, like you said, you're working on being a leader, being more vocal, and clearly you're finding ways to do just that.
I kind of put in our group chat the other day, just letting guys know to just, if you're working out, you're putting in work, throw a video in the group chat, every now and then just to show, what you're doing.
Yep.
And, just to kind of keep in touch, like you said, with everything that's going on right now. And I feel like just showing each other visually, with videos and things like that of what you're doing,
Yep.
It's obviously going to motivate others to do, that or even more. So,
and something that you might be doing, someone else may not have thought of, and then they start doing the same thing, or they may suggest to do it a different way to try and improve this aspect of their game or their workouts. So it just forces you to adapt and find different ways to do what you would normally do in person. It's just you got to be a bit creative with it, I guess.
yeah, for sure.
And again, you kind of have to rely on everybody else to do their part because you're not there in person to do it together every day. You're working out on your own, and that takes a lot of leadership in your own right, in your own life, to hold yourself accountable, to force yourself to do the same thing your teammates are doing without actually having them there, because that's a big mental game too.
For sure.
From your high school days to Lubbock Christian to now Trinity Western, is there a best personal moment that stands out for you in your career?
Personal. What exactly do you mean by like personal?
The question said best personal moment in a game. I don't know if that means like a championship, a win over a program, or like an individual performance night.
For me, it would probably be that first win, getting Trinity that first win, and yeah, I think that was it. That was that was like that feeling was unexplainable. It was a real good feeling to have, getting one of our first wins in a while for that program. So I think that was probably it for sure, from high school to Lubbock Christian to Trinity.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty vague question. I didn't really know how else to phrase that. I mean,
yeah.
you can define personal moment a lot of different ways.
a lot of different ways for sure.
So, but I mean, hey, like you said, first win at Trinity in for the program. I mean, I think that pretty much that fits the bill. We'll roll with that.
Yeah, for sure.
What's next for you? What are your goals post Trinity Western? Is it pro ball? Is it something in life outside of basketball? what is next for Q when college is done?
I definitely want to try to keep pursuing basketball and try to go pro.
Okay.
So that's always, been my number one goal since I was a kid. So I'm gonna keep striving for that. Keep taking it day by day, and if I get that chance, I'm gonna take it. But other than that, just first get my degree,
Mm-hmm.
and if I don't have a chance to go play pro, then just start my life the right way.
Yeah.
And get a big boy job and start making some money.
Don't rush into it too quick. It's not as fun as it sounds. It really isn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this basketball thing for as long as I can.
I was gonna say, as long as you can play, because
For sure.
once it's big boy job, it's a lot harder to play.
Yeah.
It's not as fun. Like big boy jobs versus playing basketball full time, it's night and day. It'd be night and day difference.
Yeah.
But
pro is plan A though, so that's
fair.
what we're gonna rock with for right now.
And like even too, like you now being in youth sports and with the CEBL having their youth sports program, you almost get a taste of it while you're still in university, if you're fortunate enough. So that's another option too, that gives you kind of that first little sample, if you will, of pro ball and pro life in the summer, and then you kind of have that experience already for when it does end, and then you figure out you want to go pro, and you're already a season of pro ball under your belt before you even leave school, which is, I think, an interesting thing that they've done to try and grow homegrown talent.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's really good too. Definitely.
I still want to have them have more teams out west because they're too spread out. But having more, I think, would give more people an option to play pro. And I mean, who doesn't want to play pro ball if you could play it close to home?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an easy sell.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything that we've missed that you've been up to lately they want to shed light on? That, again, I don't want to double up the drive and kick guys. Don't want to steal their content.
Everything's been pretty simple. I kind of got a set schedule on what I do from Monday through Sunday, so it's the same thing every day. So
what does a day in the life then look like for Q right now?
You want me to give you the whole rundown from morning to night?
You can give like the spark notes, like the quick hit version, or you can go in as much detail as you want.
Okay, well I've been on this little nutrition program thing with one of the guys I know, and he has me eating like 6 meals a day.
Jeez.
And working out at least 4 times a week. And so I just been, getting the meals in. So I wake up, get my meals in, go work out at the gym, put up some shots, come back, eat, take a nap, and then I go back and shoot and lift again. And then, and so and that's like an everyday thing. And I'll just take Wednesday off and Sunday most of the time. So 2 days off, and that's pretty what I've been doing like since I got back home.
Damn, that's a lot. But that's good. That takes a lot of self-discipline to stick to it. How tough was it to eat 6 meals a day to start? Like, are they full meals, or is it just?
Yeah, some of them are like I have like a shake thing, and it's called like a meal replacement.
Okay.
And so like it's equivalent to you eating a full meal. So
okay.
It's like a super thick shake, and it was kind of tough to start out, but not too bad. I just kind of had to force myself to eat a little bit more, but I'm kind of used to it now.
Yeah, I think once you get into it, it'd be a lot easier. But to me, just the thought of eating 6 meals. Like, there's some days I don't even find time to eat 3, let alone 6.
Well, he just has me eating the right thing. So
that's key.
Like not a lot of greasy stuff and things like that. So
right,
trying to eat a little bit healthier, but
I think
like more portions of it.
I think it'd be a lot easier to have someone there guiding you through it. Like if you were just to start that on your own, I would be so lost. I would not know what to do.
Yeah, that would be pretty tough for sure.
It's yeah. I mean, that's a lot of self-discipline. So big ups to you for that. And 5 days a week, that's no slouch. That's no slouch. And then 2 workouts a day. All the power to you.
Thanks.
I'll work out vicariously through you because my self-discipline is not that level.
Well, my dad was on me since I was a kid, so
Okay.
I'm just kind of used to it.
That's fair. That's fair. Last one before we go. I'm assuming I've asked everybody this. I'm assuming you've watched The Last Dance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jordan or LeBron?
MJ, Jordan.
There's
no way around it.
There's only ever one answer to that question. And
exactly.
If anybody says LeBron, no, sorry.
Yeah, I disagree.
Watch it a second time and a third time until you change your answer to the right one.
Yeah, it's no one like him. So MJ. No. I couldn't pick anyone else over him, definitely. And if I had to choose somebody else, it still wouldn't be LeBron. It would be Kobe. So.
Okay. Is LeBron third? Is he top 3?
LeBron is third, yes.
Okay, so at least he's still on the podium. He's still getting a medal, but not a gold or silver. No. That makes sense. That's fair. Well, Q, I want to thank you for doing this. Thanks for toughing out the tech issues.
No problem.
third time's the charm. It's like I said, it's been a day, but we figured it out. We got through it. And anytime you want to do this again, there's always a spot here for you. And we'll see what you get up to, how the workouts go. Hopefully there's a season. And we'll do it again. Anytime you want to jump on, happy to do it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Anytime.